The late afternoon calm aboard the U.S. Navy destroyer USS Gravely shattered the instant a fresh contact appeared on the ship's SPY-1D radar screen. At first, it was just another green speck, the kind that comes and goes all day in busy sea lanes. But this blip had a story. It was fast, deliberate, and on an intercept course. Within seconds, the Combat Information Center called it out. New surface contact. Bearing 2110. Range 29 nautical miles, closing. On the bridge, officers glanced up from their charts. They didn't need a briefing. These coordinates sat roughly 30 nautical miles off Venezuela's coast. Legally, that's well outside territorial seas and squarely in international waters. Practically, it's an increasingly tense patch of ocean, where American and Venezuelan forces have been testing each other for weeks. Smugglers, strikes, and showdowns. This standoff didn't erupt out of nowhere. In early September, U.S. Southern Command made headlines by publicly confirming kinetic strikes against Venezuelan-linked smuggling boats. These vessels, suspected of ferrying synthetic opioids and cocaine toward Caribbean routes, ignored repeated U.S. warnings and were destroyed at sea. The images of burning hulls went viral. Caracas reacted with fury. State TV blasted the strikes as aggression in international waters. Navy patrols surged beyond their usual haunts. Venezuelan jets began buzzing U.S. destroyers, flying so low that American sailors could wave to the pilots. No shots fired, but a clear message. We see you and we can crowd you out here. By September 25th, everyone in the Gravely's Combat Information Center knew the pattern. Venezuela was practicing what analysts call asymmetric presence. When you can't outgun an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, you can still close distance, create tense headlines, and test your opponent's discipline. A silent approach at speed. The new radar track fit that playbook. The system tagged it as Sierra 214, a profile matching the Guayquerí-class offshore patrol vessel. At 2,300 tons, these ships aren't tiny patrol craft. They're among the Venezuelan Navy's heaviest surface assets. Crucially, its AIS transponder was dark, normal for warships but ominous when combined with an aggressive heading. CIC ran the math. Closest point of approach, 3.1 nautical miles. Time to closest point of approach, 10 minutes. For warships bristling with sensors and weapons, 3 miles is knife fighting range. One wrong helm order, one misread signal, and the situation could spiral. The captain didn't wait. Maintain ROE. Get every system watching. Hail them now. Law on paper versus reality at sea. Legally, Gravely was squeaky clean. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea allows nations full freedom of navigation beyond 12 nautical miles. The ship was 30 out, nowhere near Venezuelan territorial seas. But legal rights don't stop steel from colliding, or radars from locking, or a patrol vessel from flexing at close range. The first bridge-to-bridge hail went out on Channel 16 in English. Unidentified Venezuelan naval vessel. This is United States warship operating in international waters. You are closing distance at high speed. Alter course immediately. Silence. A second hail in Spanish. Still silence. In naval standoffs, silence is worse than insults. Hostility you can measure. Silence leaves commanders guessing. The situation escalates. Suddenly, Sierra 214 accelerated, from 12 knots to 22 in under 2 minutes. Merchant ships don't pull that kind of sprint. This was deliberate pressure. CIC updated. Closest point of approach 2.6 nautical miles. Time to closest point of approach 7 minutes. Every sailor on board could feel the air tighten. The SLQ-32 electronic warfare suite went active, sniffing for radar threats. So far, the Venezuelan ship was using only low-power surface search sweeps. Watching, but not yet targeting. The line between those two is razor thin. On deck, lookouts spotted exhaust haze on the horizon. Below, in the mess, sailors ate in silence, ears tuned to the ship-wide announcing system. Everyone knew this dance. No response on the radio, a contact sprinting to close. This wasn't routine. 2 weeks earlier, Venezuelan K-8 light attack jets had skimmed over another U.S. destroyer, recording with electro-optical pods but keeping their weapons stowed. Now the test was coming by sea. Presence without provocation. With 7 minutes to impact, the captain made his next chess move. Launched the MH-60R Seahawk. The helicopter's twin GE engines screamed to life on the flight deck. Sailors and cranials crouched under the rotors, guiding the takeoff with glowing wands. The order was clear. Show presence, but don't provoke. The Seahawk lifted, banked wide, careful not to overfly the Venezuelan ship, and began a visible but non-threatening orbit. Its MX-20F LIR turret streamed live infrared video back to the CIC. Every second of that footage was geotagged, time-stamped, and archived. This wasn't just for situational awareness, it was evidence. For Washington, for diplomats, even for the United Nations if needed. Then came the green laser pulse, a non-lethal but unmistakable signal splashed across the Venezuelan bridge windows. We see you. We're watching. On the patrol ship's deck, sailors shifted uneasily. The OTO Milera gun cover was off but unmanned. One crew member raised binoculars toward the circling helo. Another gestured, whether waving or posturing was unclear. CIC noted it all. Posture observed, weapons not manned. Moments later, the Venezuelan ship's radar swept across both the destroyer and the helo. Still low power but deliberate. The captain stayed calm. Maintain orbit. No overflight. Document everything. A test of nerves. By now, both sides were playing a high-stakes game of restraint. Venezuela wanted headlines and domestic pride. The U.S. wanted to prove professionalism and keep escalation off the table. For the American crew, discipline is more than a virtue. It's doctrine. Rules of engagement are stepwise. Hail, warn, show presence, prepare to respond, all meticulously logged. Improvisation is the enemy of safety when two armed ships are 3 miles apart. And this is why U.S. destroyers invest so much in evidentiary posture. Every radar return, every radio call, every FLIR frame builds an airtight case. We operated lawfully, we warned, we stayed cool. The turn. At 4:16 p.m., Sierra 214 finally flinched. Its wake shortened. Bow lift eased. Speed dropped to 20 knots, then 18. A shallow starboard turn followed, easing the CPA out to 4.2 nautical miles. No longer a direct collision course. The radio finally cracked to life in Spanish. U.S. warship, this is a Venezuelan vessel on sovereign patrol duty. We are operating near Venezuelan waters. The Gravely's captain responded, calm but firm. Venezuelan vessel, this is United States warship Gravely. We are conducting lawful operations in international waters. Your unsafe maneuvers have been recorded. Then, nothing. No threats, no further argument. Just diesel engines settling into a parallel track a safe 5 miles off. The Seahawk lingered a little longer, cameras zooming in on relaxed Venezuelan deck crews, weapons covered, hands visible, before banking home to the destroyer. No shots, no collisions. Just another quiet U.S. victory through discipline. Why this matters beyond. One afternoon, this wasn't a random patrol boat playing chicken, it was strategic signaling. Venezuela knows it can't beat an Arleigh Burke destroyer in combat, but it doesn't have to. Its Navy can erode U.S. freedom of action through friction, force close encounters, grab domestic headlines, and show allies and rivals it won't be intimidated. For Washington, the response must be just as deliberate, professional, predictable, and provable. Every second of documented restraint strengthens diplomatic standing and deters escalation by showing control, but not weakness. Analysts warn the danger lies in the narrow safety margins. At under 3 miles, a misinterpreted radar lock or sudden helm change could trigger a deadly chain of split-second decisions. That's why the U.S. Navy trains crews to stay calm under pressure, treat cameras as weapons, and let discipline be the most powerful deterrent. Crime, sovereignty, and influence. The Southern Caribbean is no quiet backwater. It's a narcotic superhighway, a patchwork of disputed fishing zones, and a symbolic proving ground for regional sovereignty. The U.S. aims to choke trafficking routes and maintain freedom of navigation. Caracas wants to assert control and rally nationalist pride. Each intercept feeds that larger contest. Smuggler strikes provoke political backlash. Low overflights test nerves. Close-in patrols force U.S. commanders to walk the razor's edge between self-defense and escalation. The September 25th incident is just one move in that ongoing game. Should the U.S. get tougher or stay cool? That question now hangs over policymakers and armchair admirals alike. Some argue the Navy should respond more aggressively when foreign patrols closed it within a few miles. Perhaps by maneuvering more assertively, employing non-lethal countermeasures earlier, or even threatening return to port orders. Others insist calm restraint is the smarter weapon. Escalation risks playing into Caracas's hands, providing propaganda and inviting unintended firefights. By staying cool, documenting everything, and quietly outclassing opponents, the U.S. keeps the moral and legal high ground. The Gravely's encounter is a case study in that second philosophy: win by not taking the bait. If you found this video interesting, hit that like, and don't forget to subscribe. Stay sharp, stay safe, and remember, when patrol boats play chicken with destroyers, discipline is the most powerful weapon at sea. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.